Hey guys, I'm Sydney.
And I'm Kaiya, and this is the Anxious Club
podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's an Anxious Club podcast.
Right.
And everyone is welcome at the Anxious Club podcast. So welcome, join a club.
We're all inclusive here.
We're all inclusive.
All
you can be
anxious.
part of our club.
Yeah.
Sydney, I am so excited to start our podcast.
I'm so excited.
I'm very nervous.
This has been like 3 years in the making.
This has been 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
We shot maybe, I think, was it 3 episodes?
Two.
Like we shot one
Two.
in my room.
Mm-hmm. And one in my house.
Oh, it was only 2.
Only 2.
And the second one you wouldn't even let me watch.
I just deleted it.
You literally deleted it. You wouldn't let me. I was so excited.
No,
And
it
you
looked
literally-
cute too.
Guys, she wouldn't let
It
me
was
watch
cute.
it. And then
We just were going through a season. So, not we.
yeah.
We.
Oh.
Bitch.
Well, I'm sorry.
No one told you.
Silent mode. No, guys, I didn't mean to. My bad. Okay.
Anyways,
We're
we're very excited to be here. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. If
so
you
excited.
know one thing about Kaiya and I, it's that we talk a lot. We love to talk to each other. And this
Like-
is made for us.
Yes, I mean the hours that we have put in on the phone could beat a lot of people. I
Dude.
think. Well, we just did our record timing
Yeah.
the other day. I had to literally go because we kept hanging up, or
Yeah,
you
we
know.
always hang out. We got to add like each
I know. I
session.
looked at it. And I was like, actually trying to do the math.
Yeah,
I went into
no.
the calculator, and it was like, I was like 1 hour, 2 hours. I couldn't believe it kept going.
It was 4, right?
It was 4.5.
4.5 hours. And like we live in the same city.
We live in the same
It
city,
makes no sense.
and now we live in the same town,
yeah.
and we live 5 minutes away from each other.
5 minutes away.
And
But
that
we
day,
just love to talk on the phone.
yes, we love to talk on the phone.
And we love to talk while we're pooping.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Sorry to every man that thinks women don't poop. 'Cause
Women
we
poop.
poop.
Me and Sid
Mm-hmm.
have very iconic poops.
Yeah, maybe
poop
we'll-
talks.
Maybe we'll put the thread
Maybe.
later.
No, I was actually going to show them. I
Oh.
figured we could reenact the thread
Okay.
of the other day.
Like in a sexy voice or something?
Yeah, that'd be
Like a
funny.
whisper?
Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do, because just like vibrated
threw
on
it.
the first episode.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna this just will kind of let you guys in on like me and Sid's dynamic.
No, I didn't realize this is bad.
It's bad.
Well, you started off pretty strong.
I really didn't know if like this is what I wanted to put out on the internet, but
Just go for it.
Okay, I'm
How
gonna
did
go
you
for
start
it.
it off?
for context, Sid is over at my house and she's downstairs and I am upstairs.
Mhm.
I'll start. This is what I said. My butthole is on fire.
Ha ha ha. Same bitch.
This one's a hot snake.
Dude, what is happening? It's coming out slow and hot.
Oh my God, same.
Ha ha ha. Twins. Let's flush together.
I'm not ready yet.
Me either.
Okay, cool. Bout to wipe.
Wait, I had a second wind.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay, I'm ready.
To flush or wipe?
Flush. 1,
2,
3.
3. Did it. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely epic.
So epic.
Very gross.
So we've been best friends for we were talking about this on the way here. We're coming up on 10 years.
10 years of friendship.
That's crazy. And in LA the entire time.
I know.
Which is like very impressive.
You're the longest friendship I've had. I know
Really?
it's not the same way around, but you're the I mean,
I have
Yeah.
one friendship from high school that's like that I still really like water and care about.
yeah.
That's like my longest for sure. But in Los Angeles, you're definitely my longest.
Yeah. I moved a lot. I think you did too when you were younger.
Mhm.
So even when I was younger, I didn't really have, I don't think, a 10-year long friendship because
Yeah,
I was
like
always
consistent
moving.
friendships.
So, and then I didn't keep up with anybody from high school because grew up in a really small town in Minnesota and just everyone stayed there. I
Yeah.
left. So
I don't know. It is weird because both you and I right out of high school got like the fuck out of where we came from and literally left everything behind.
do you remember the day we met?
I do, yeah. You were in the courtyard and
I was
you were
in-
walking your dog.
I was walking my dog, Lua.
Was she pink at the time?
Probably. But I don't think that's what grabbed the attention.
No, it was because you were hot, and my brothers thought you were hot.
So me and Sydney lived in the same building.
My shoes unzipped.
Great, perfect.
Is the other one? Okay, no. Just one.
Me and Sydney lived in the same building, and there was a courtyard, and all of the apartments faced the courtyard.
Yeah.
She was on the first floor, and I was on the fourth. And I would take my dog out to go potty in the courtyard every day.
And she would be like right outside of our window.
Yeah. And I think this is actually like the first week I moved in, and then you guys moved.
Same.
This might have been was it the first day you guys moved in, or had you been there?
It might have. We didn't have furniture yet. I know that. And like it was very early on.
Yeah.
Like we were like sleeping on the floor, mattresses.
Yeah, I remember.
In Los Angeles. Like, and yeah, it was early on because you'd walk your dog every day. And this just like happened to be the first day that we saw you in the courtyard. Mm-hmm. But me, Jaden, and Silas, like we had each other, but we had just moved to LA too. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh.
What?
I had a throat burp.
I actually think I heard that from here. I hope the
mic
camera
definitely heard that. It's because of this.
Guys, I swear we're not that gassy.
I'm not.
We're cute princesses.
Yeah, but anyways, so me, Jen, and Silas we'd been living in Long Beach the first, I think it was 3 months that we came to LA. And we were on like a really intense boot camp. Like the label had us like working every day, and we were supposed to move back home. So we were just like, while we're here, we're just going to grind. And like, we didn't meet anyone. We didn't have any friends for 3 months. We just worked except each other. Yeah. When we found out we were staying in LA and we saw you, someone our age, it was like,
I know,
the holy grail to like possibly have a friend again. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember you guys were super friendly, and I met your brothers first, and then they were like, well, we have a sister. And I wanted to show you guys. I was really into this artist, John Bellion, at the time. Yes. Then I found out your brother did music, and so I was like, oh, my God, I need to show you guys this. So I came over, and it was just so instant. We watched his videos the whole night.
Instantly family. Like,
instantly.
Actually, yeah. At the time, you were a DJ.
Yes.
And DJ Kaiya Wolf, shout out. Sorry.
Shout out DJ Kaiya Wolf.
Yeah. And I'm in a group with Jaden and Silas, my brothers, and so what the fuck was it?
This is how the podcast is gonna go. I was worried about me having brain farts.
Me. I'm the problem.
I think I was almost like I was sitting here disassociating for a second, like I was looking at you and realizing we were doing this podcast.
But I was fully going somewhere.
I was like, am I about to have a panic attack?
The name totally makes sense.
I know. I was like, hold it together. I swear to God, like. The sweats. Anyways, okay.
Okay, well, there was a point, but what the fuck was the point? What were we saying?
Was the point that we were all just here doing music?
Yeah. Instead of going to college, like the first 4 years of LA was like our college experience. It was like we were crazy. We partied every night.
Every night, stayed up like I can't honestly cannot believe it. Would get so high.
We saw every sunrise.
We'd be like on the roof, catching the sun. It'd be 7 a.m. The amount of noise complaints that we got between the both of us, insane.
We got evicted.
Oh yeah, you guys got evicted.
We got evicted because of noise.
Yeah,
literally noise and Stormy.
That's
like
crazy.
roaming the courtyard because we
and
just,
Lua.
Like, yeah.
So I have a dog. I have 2 dogs, but one of my dogs, Lua, they would babysit all the time when I went to Brazil for long periods of time, and I would get a call from Brazil, and it would be like. Your dog's just by itself in the courtyard.
And we were supposed to be watching her.
And they were babysitting my dog. And I'd be like, well, do you just have Lua in the courtyard by herself? Because you guys lived on the 4th floor, so you would, or first floor, so you would just like hop her out.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
It was amazing.
But yeah, so there was that era of what we call the gallery.
Yeah, we were like we were hazing ourselves into LA.
Yes.
We just were crazy for some time.
And I was all up in the LA promoter club scene, so I'd be doing that all the time.
Well, you're still crazy, but
yeah, I had some questionable moments during those times.
We all did. We were new. We were new. But what I will say is like, I mean, I don't know. I know you feel this way, but like, it's something that I want to talk about is how hard it is to make friendships when you move, especially as an adult, because like. We've said we both moved as kids, but when you're a kid, like you go to school every day, you kind of have to like prioritize, like you don't have to prioritize friendships, but you see someone every single day.
Yes.
And it's not on you to like make time or carve out time. Like you just have that time carved out into your day because you're going to school. But when you move to a new city and you no longer have that structure and you're kind of transitioning into adulthood and you know, now you kind of just get to do whatever the fuck you want. Making friends is just not as easy for whatever reason.
No, I feel like it was so much easier back then.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, it felt so easy because we would just run into someone at, like, I went to music school, so I would like make a friend there, and then it just felt like everyone was just so eager to be here, and it was just, I don't think we cared as much about the quality of friendships, so we just let I mean, the people that were around, I mean, it was just like of every type of situation.
I agree with you. I think in the beginning it was very easy because we were all just excited to be in LA. Like it was a place that we were wanting to move for a long time. But the quality, like we don't talk to anybody from back then really, except like I could count on one hand out of like the 30 people that like lived inside my house, my apartment, like 5 people that we still talk to.
And we didn't have this experience, but I wonder if it's kind of the same with college. Like, do people go to college, make friends with everybody? It's not really about quality.
Yeah.
It's about quantity.
And
then eventually I think we probably experienced the same thing.
Probably.
It's not just secluded to like LA or not going to college or big city. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think the one factor that sets LA apart is that everybody's on a different grind. So like similar to high school, college, like you're living a similar life. And I think like the longer you're in LA, like the more work focused you become and like the less relationship driven. Yeah. Like and people definitely like network out here and like will prioritize those kind of more like, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? But having like real quality friendships, at least for me, has been difficult.
Do you know what I think the difference is too? It's like when you're in college and you're having maybe less quality friendship, you still have to go to class and like work towards your degree. Yeah. And when you're in LA or a big city and you're not going to college, a lot of that time can just be wasteful. Yeah. And you don't realize, because it's not like you can get very distracted by having a quantity of friends or feeling like you need to go do all these things. Whereas in college, you're kind of accomplishing both at the same time. Like you can, when you're done, you have a degree and you can like go get a job. Whereas in LA, I think we come to a point where we're like, whoa, I think we might have just wasted all of this time just on friends and, you know, then going towards our careers. Though I think you can do both and people do both, and that can be very helpful to be surrounded by inspiring people. But I think that's the difference between the two.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's very easy to feel like time was wasted no matter what. But I do think like there's always lessons. Like if I could go back and do things different in those 4 years that we lived in the gallery, like I would do everything over differently. But at the same time, like all of those moments years. Are needed.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like
a lot.
I miss those moments sometimes, but at the same time, I feel like now I'm in a stage of my life where I'm just really beginning to like cleanse my life of like the people that I don't want in it, and really having the quality,
being more picky,
being way more picky, realizing that I need to be more picky, and just not allowing everything into my life. And I think right now we also really want to be surrounded by people that are very much inspiring and trying to conquer their goals, and also supportive of us conquering our dreams and our goals, and not just either people that are moochers or people that just have not even bad energy, but just, I don't know, distract you from your goals or just don't.
I was going to say, like, one thing for me that I've like, you know, that I've had to really let go of is like being a people pleaser and just like wanting everybody to like me. I think living here has been a really great wake up call to like literally no one will like you. Like everyone will always have something bad to say about you. And like just getting over that, like I've been working on that really hard in the past years. Just like, you know, there are people that don't like me, but that's because they don't know me, you know?
I truly do not know if this is an LA thing or if it's a big city thing. But the self-awareness that comes from this city, I swear to God.
It's crazy. Or the lack of it. You know what I mean?
True, or the lack of it.
You can go one way or the other.
I feel like, and maybe now because of social media, it's really happening. And because of TikTok, it's happening on a broader scale. But the social anxiety that happened I remember a few years into living in LA, I developed the most massive social anxiety, which I also watched other people go through.
Yeah.
And it felt like a thing that it was just like hit everyone at different times, but eventually it hits you. And I think it is about like maybe so many people being mirrors of you. Like you're constantly seeing mirrors of you and like a bad light too. So you're like, oh, am I like that?
And everyone's doing the same thing as you, which this is something that I don't think a lot of people in the rest of the world can relate to. But if you live in like Los Angeles or New York, maybe not even so much New York, because New York I know is a lot more corporate, but Los Angeles specifically, like a lot of people do the same stuff. And so it's like you're building friendships, but you also have the exact same job, and there is like competition, and naturally like there's already comparisons if you're not doing the same thing as your best friend. But when you're literally doing the same thing, the comparisons are so much louder. And so I think it really is like it teaches you to like you have to be self-aware. You have to be able to like know your worth. And a lot of the times like labels or managers or agents will literally say like, well, what makes you special? What makes you different?
Yeah,
and
you come in thinking that you are so special and that you are so different.
Because you come from a place where no one does what you do. To a place where everyone does literally
yes,
what you do.
Exactly. Do you remember? I think I developed it before you, but do you remember when I all of a sudden had social anxiety?
Yeah.
You do remember that?
Yeah,
because I just remember I would just all of a sudden, I can't remember the exact moment though, but I
just feel like it was for you. I think it was kind of a slow burn. Like I think that there was always like little seeds of anxiety for sure, but yeah, I think you like really eased into it. Yeah, it wasn't like this moment.
I came in so just ready to go. I mean, just so not just confident, but just I guess maybe you want to call it naive. Like, you know, I think we all do. We're young, so we're braver.
Excited.
We're just excited.
And we're so like, we think we're going to move here and everything's instantly going to change. And
you know what it is?
It doesn't.
Ooh, you know what it is too?
What?
It's, I think so much of the situations where you go into these parties with celebrities or their whatever parties or the club or whatever it is. And I think and it's humbling too. It's a good thing and a bad thing. But I think you start realizing like no one gives a fuck about me. Yeah. Like you're in a room full of people and you want them to just even acknowledge you. Yeah. And when they don't acknowledge you, then you feel small. Then all of a sudden that thought pops into your head where you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I not this? Am I not that? Am I not funny enough? No one takes me seriously. And then the monster just slowly starts to develop. That social anxiety monster just like creeps up on you. And then all of a sudden you're at a party in a social situation and you either have a panic attack or you don't want to be there or you don't know how to talk to people or you're overcompensating. It's
very much like a big talent show out here. Yeah. Like I feel like everybody, like especially like, sorry, but like if you go to some of these social media houses or social media parties, it's like there's a lot of people just trying to be the loudest in the room. Yeah. Just to like get in the TikTok or whatever it is. And it's like, I think when you first move here, that's what you think you're supposed to do. And you have the energy. But when you've lived here for like 8 to 10 years, like you run out of that and you just kind of want to just be authentic and be yourself. Yeah. And that's, I think, where we're at now is like we've lived, at least me, I've lived in Los Angeles longer consecutively than I ever have any other city in my life. So I've lived here for a long time and it's now home. And I'm kind of over like the butterflies of like, oh, LA, you know? Yeah. And I'm just kind of craving like the human experience, more friendships, more relationships like I have with you. And they're few, but the ones that matter are like so much more special to me and more important than any potential network or anything, you know, potential opportunity. Yeah. And you start to realize that going to these events and doing these things with people you don't care about are 90% of the time not going to even benefit you. No. So it's like working hard and like low-key like self-isolating and focusing on what it is that makes you. It's like, it's kind of like you move to LA and you are unique and then you kind of lose your uniqueness because you try to do what is working for everyone else. When you get to that point where you self-isolate again, and kind of just immerse yourself in your own energy, or whoever it is that's like directly around you, uplifting you, supporting you, you get back the uniqueness that you came here with.
Yeah.
And I think that's when success starts to come your way, is when you're not trying to emulate what others are doing, or you're not trying to compete with others. You're just doing you.
Right. Or you're just not desperate for others' friendships.
Yeah.
Like,
and attention.
I feel like everybody, and I've done it myself, it's like became so desperate for certain friendships, you know, and it's, you also, you become hear what you like hate in other people. It's like, you do see sometimes like, what could this benefit me? Like, you kind of start thinking that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see people that benefited from certain situations like that, you know? And
oh, you absolutely, like, some of the worst people get to where they're trying to go the quickest here, you know, but the long game is what we were talking about. Like, being yourself, being a
and
good
just
person.
even the fact that our friendship has survived the past 10 years in Los Angeles. I mean, it's a very small group of people, and it's basically you and your brothers that have survived, at least in my book, throughout all these years. There has been so many people that have come and go.
Yeah.
And because of honestly very LA things as well. But
yeah, you've definitely had, I would say, when it comes to like the toxic friendship vibes in LA, you've had a lot more of that than I have.
Yes.
I've just had like waves of like friend groups and a lot of people leaving the city too. You know? Because that's a very real thing. Like, it's hard to sustain.
There's a lot of people in your life that have I actually don't really have anybody that has left.
That's moved back home or whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
So many, especially after COVID, like so many people left.
Yeah.
Successful people too, like people that were just like, I'm over the industry, like, and they were getting movies and getting like whatever. Yeah. And just like couldn't handle it anymore. It's tough. It's tough to live here.
Oh, it's so tough. And I'm just, well, listen, okay, not going to shit on myself on this podcast. I'm not toxic, but I have been very drawn to toxicity. I mean, that's one of my kind of childhood, what's it called? Childhood healing thingies.
Yeah.
What's it called? When you need my childhood wounds. I don't know.
Traumas?
I don't know. I've been, and listen, there's a lot of crazies in LA. I'll tell you that, you know, and I've been the crazy one at different times as well.
Yeah.
And, I've had a lot of different kind of friendships here.
Yeah.
I feel like you have too, but you have just more of a balance about you maybe.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. You've dealt with stuff too. You've dealt with that
I've dealt with crazies. I think I just cut them off. Actually, no. I don't cut them off quicker because you cut people off very quick. Yeah. I just don't think I let them in as close ever.
Yes. I'm like 2 seconds in. You're my best friend. Let's have 10 million sleepovers and just be obsessed with each other. Yeah. I don't know if it's a Sagittarius thing or a abandonment.
It's probably a little bit of everything.
Borderline personality.
So I'm like, let me feel you out first.
No. I am very like I'm so open to just being close with whoever comes my way. Maybe not anymore. We still got to test those waters, but yes, I will take you in my arms and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, maybe you're not what I put you on the pedestal to be." Literally. And then I'm like, "Oh, fuck," you know, and then but we've been able, I mean, so many times, like we've gotten past so many things. And
I was going to ask you, like, because obviously, I mean, I think we have a lot of similarities. We come from, like, some of our traumas are similar. We come from, like, suburbs, moved here similar times, have, like, some similar interests. But fundamentally, like, we do walk through life very differently, I think. So I wanted to ask you, like, why do you think it's stuck with me and us? You? Yeah. As long as it has, especially for you, because I'm your longest friendship.
Yes. I think the balance, like,
she's speechless.
No, the balance that you bring to my life. I mean, you've literally are one of the people in my life, the main person in my life that has even taught me how to communicate. It's like good communication. I think we've had some times where I've had to say some really tough things that's a little embarrassing to even admitting, or thinking that something's in my head that's going on with you or whatever it is. Yeah. And instead of you taking that and judging me for even saying that or thinking that, we talk through it every single time. Yeah. And I think that's a very hard, I mean, I think communication in any relationship is the number one thing that either makes or breaks you. And we have built our communication to a point where it's just like we can get through basically anything. Yeah. It's crazy.
Agree. I do agree. I think communication is really important. And I think why our friendship has lasted so long for me is because you're fucking hot. And I just want to suck on them titties.
Oh my God, suck on these tits.
No, I'm kidding.
Focus.
I'm trying to focus. I think, no, I do. I know why. Why. Because for me, I think you've just always felt like family. And I'm the kind of person, I'm not like you. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can click with everybody and anybody. Mm-hmm. It's like there are people that I just click with and people that I don't. And
I think your family is a cohesive can click with everybody. Because you guys have definitely allowed a lot more people in than I ever have.
There's a difference between making somebody feel like at home and welcomed, which is like just like I'm from Texas, like we just do that in the South, and like, you know, it's open door policy.
I was just gonna say, you guys literally have an open door policy.
Totally.
Dinner at your night, like at your house every night.
Totally. But there's a difference between that and like being able to show people love and hospitality, and then actually feeling like that's reciprocated back, and that someone like genuinely understands me. Yeah. And you've just always been that, and because of that, I'm going to water that friendship. Like, no matter what you say, no matter what you do to me or at me, just like my family, like, I know you. I know your soul. Yeah. So it's like, if you're mad at me or sad at me, those things that you're saying, if you're sad at me, those things you're saying in the moment, I know the deeper parts of you. I know I can put together why you might be saying that. You know, I'm not going to take it personal.
I have a really serious question for you.
Okay. What?
Are you trying to get in my pants?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for asking. Finally.
No, I really think that you want to marry me.
I think you want to marry me.
I think at different times we wanted to marry each other.
I think
because it's just so good.
Yeah, I think we are soulmates, like in the friend way. Well, I just think we give each other what we don't get from a lot of other people. Yes. And so, like, obviously, it would be great to get everything from one person, but I don't think that that's realistic. Like, I think different people give you different things.
Right, but you want to get in my pants.
Yeah. Well, that's, like, more sexual. That's separate. This just, like, went from, like, so serious to so not.
No, it's serious. It's serious.
But no,
but you want to get in my
serious.
pants. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
It's fine.
I really am grateful for our friendship. I think talking about friendship is very appropriate for our first podcast.
Extremely appropriate.
It's like, it's the reason that we're here. Like,
yeah, and I honestly, like, I almost did this potty pod without you.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting on you. But as soon as you were open to the idea again, I 1000% was all the way back in, because I just know there's something magical here about our conversations. And I know
this is our love language.
It is our love language. I know we're both very nervous about this journey, but we're both so excited. And I think we'll be like less nervous as time goes on, as more episodes we have. We're definitely going to have guests on the episode, on the podcasts.
Yeah, so many
guests. On the podcast. We're going to have guests on the podcast, so we're really, really excited about that. And then there's going to be just a lot of podcasts on our own as well. It's going to be mixed in.
A lot more to come. One of the things that we really want to talk about on this podcast, and why it's called the Anxious Club in the first place, is just growing up, like the ups and downs of life, and you know, the emotions that can come with the unsureness of like, am I doing the right thing with my life, or what am I even doing with my life? And like, sometimes in the uncertainty you can feel good, and sometimes like I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting older and I'm like royally fucking up.
Yeah. And also about just taking like the road less traveled, and I think we both decided to take that road moving out to LA.
Yeah, we didn't go to college.
Yeah, there is no like linear path for us. There is no go to college, get a job, find a partner, get married, have kids, buy a house. Like, there really isn't that for us, and there hasn't been. And like I said, we're both like, we're both in our late 20s, and I feel, I mean, in probably real world terms or normal world terms, you could say behind, but not. Yeah.
Because I will say this, like, even like, I think social media has changed this a lot. Like, I know entrepreneurs can relate. I know anybody in any creative industry can relate to us. And I even think some people that did go to college, like after COVID, a lot of people started their own like small businesses and like whatever. And so I think just our generation and like the generation below us as a whole is becoming more aware that you can get a job, but it's not sustainable anymore.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of make something for yourself, and it's scary because we didn't have those tools in school.
I think that after COVID, a lot of people joined the Anxious Club.
For
A
sure.
lot of people chose to do the road less traveled, and they got out of the linear situation and decided to go towards their dreams and just kind of realize that the 9 to 5 and just kind of what we're taught we have to do maybe doesn't have to be it, you know? And it's just like, oh, maybe I don't.
Yeah, and the scariness of it, the emotions that come with it, as much as like they are hard, I don't think either one of us would choose differently, like choose to do it any differently.
No, and like really it is the Anxious Club because even with the highs comes like this like anxiousness.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
Because it's
like
fleeting. Sometimes it feels like it's literally here and then it's gone.
Yes.
There's nothing promised. So it's like you really just have to be present and in the moment. And a lot of the guests that we're going to have on have success and then have lost it also too. So
or have had success and it's maybe not given them the
happiness
that they thought, you know.
That's a very real thing.
It's a very real thing.
Yeah.
So what is, maybe to end this off, what is something you've been anxious, high or low, this week about?
Ooh. I would say music.
Okay.
You know, me and my brothers have been doing music for so long, and this week we got a video. I don't want to say who, but we got a video of like a really, really big producer listening to our music. And obviously, like, that's a high because it's like, oh, that's really cool. Like, it feels cool. But, you know, just as much as I do, is like, you can't get your hopes up in the industry because, like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, actions speak louder than, like, someone saying, like, oh, you're dope. Like, it's nice to have that, like, stan, I guess. But it's a little bit of a letdown every time because it's like you want to get excited and you don't want to take those, like, small, like, wins away from yourself. You want to enjoy it. But you can't enjoy it too much, you know?
Because you hear it all the time. Yeah. And it always seems to fail.
Yeah. And so you just have to, like, get tough skin and just, like, I guess you have to, like, monitor your excitement. You know? You can't think that, like, one person's just going to, like, make it happen for you. You have to keep doing it for yourself. So, yeah, that would probably be for me. What about you?
Okay. Well, mine's about a boy. No, I'm, like, newly single. Okay, not newly. 9 months in.
Yeah. Full pregnancy,
single, and I'm kind of ready to date, and we can talk about this on another episode.
Yes, that'll be a full
episode. But I guess what gave me kind of both sides of the anxiousness, the high and the low, was really crushing on this guy, and like being really excited about maybe this could be something, but then being totally ghosted.
Oh my god!
And then having the anxious feeling and coming out of it. Realizing that I was
putting him on a pedestal.
Yeah, I was putting him on a pedestal, and I kind of reverted back to some old ways that I thought had gone, and I kind of self-corrected in the end.
Good.
Yeah, I self-corrected in the end. I'm a badass bitch. Snaps for Kaiya. Guys, I made it through, okay? But yeah, we definitely need a full podcast on ghosting.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my getting ghosted
era. Well, you're
era.
on the apps. So
I'm on the apps,
I've never been on the apps. I don't even know what that's like.
Like, namaste.
Good for you. I'm proud of you for turning it around. This is the era of, like,
self-correction.
Not putting anything on, and not putting anyone on a pedestal.
No.
Period.
No, I've even put you on pedestals, and I've had to take you off.
Keep me up there.
No. I mean, you
no, actually don't, because then you get mad at me. But anyways, that is our time.
Yes, it is. Okay, that was not
fun.
as bad. I was nervous,
well,
but
we made it. We did it.
We did it. I'm so excited, and you guys can follow the Anxious Club on all the social medias at the Anxious Club Pod.
Yes,
and
all the things. Yeah,
follow us.
We'll be back next week.
DM us things to talk about or stories, you know.
We don't know how to close this off. We just want to keep talking.
Yeah, we really don't know how to close off the pod. But anyways, thank you guys.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.